So let's take a look at our map again. Now, we have everything in the past that has ever happened down there. And we have everything that ever could happen in the future up here. The Doctor has complete freedom of movement on the map. He can go anywhere. But what Einstein realised is that we can't have freedom of movement, otherwise we'd run into trouble. So he discovered a limit. He built it into his theory, something that we can all agree on, the speed of light. Let's think about Faraday's candle again. If there wasn't a roof on this lecture theatre, then this would be sending out light into the universe, an expanding sphere of light, travelling outwards at 300,000 kilometres per second. In 1.5 seconds, it had passed by the moon. In 8 minutes, it had speed past the sun. And in around 100,000 years, it would completely clear the Milky Way galaxy. Now, I can draw this onto my map. So this is here and now in this lecture theatre at the Royal Institution. So I can draw a line on my map that represents the trajectory of a beam of light through space-time. Of course, it expands in all directions, so I have another one of those lines going out there. A pair of diagonal lines. Now, I could also draw lines on this map which represent the paths of beams of light from the past if they arrived here, now, in this lecture theatre. And here they'll be. They'll look the same. They'll extend out into the past. Now, we all agree on these lines because we all agree on the speed of light. So they must be important in some way. And they are. This is how Einstein protects the past from the future. They limit how we can move around on the map because nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. It is a universal speed limit. What does that mean? Well, imagine that there was someone sat here, let's say, with a telescope. If I wanted some signal, some flash of light to get out to that event there, which would be, let's say, an alien on some distant galaxy taking the telescope out and looking at us, then it would have to travel. The influence, the light, would have to travel faster than the speed of light. It can't happen. So this line seems to restrict the movement of things. Things that travel slower than light are condemned to live inside this area. This area is clearly important, and it's got a name. It's called the Future Light Cone. That encompasses all of our futures. Every event that's going to happen to any of us in this audience or watching at home that happens will happen in this region of space-time inside the Future Light Cone. It also applies to the past. So this is a special region. It's called our past light cone. This is the region that contains events in space and time that could, in principle, have influenced us now, at this point here, tonight. This is the geometry of space-time, as described by Einstein in his theory of special relativity that he published in 1905. It allows me to trace my life through these two regions.